Hello, students, welcome back. Olá, aluno, aluna, bem-vindo de volta aí, ok? Book She, page 5, página 5, ok? Vamos lá. Ele estava, ele era, ele foi, é o famoso contexto, tá? Para saber se é foi ou era, tá? Então vamos lá. Por exemplo, você não vai falar ele era acordado, né? Ele foi acordado, aí dá sentido, tá? Mas vamos lá, tá? Durante a conversação você não vai parar para pensar nesses pormenores aí, nesses detalhes, in these details. Então vamos lá. Ele estava acordado, was he woken up? Was he woken up? Ele estava ocupado, was he busy? Was he busy? Ele estava ocupado à noite, was he busy at night? Ele estava cansado, was he tired? Was he tired? Ele estava com fome, was he hungry? Was he hungry? Ele não estava com fome? Wasn't he hungry? Wasn't he hungry? Ele não estava com sede? Wasn't he thirsty? Wasn't he thirsty? Ele não estava triste? Wasn't he sad? Wasn't he sad? Por que ele não estava triste? Why wasn't he sad? Why wasn't he sad? Por que ele não estava feliz? Why wasn't he happy? Why wasn't he happy? Ele estava feliz, ele era feliz, ele foi feliz. Tá vendo? Agora fez sentido. He was happy. He was happy. Ele foi grato, ele era grato. He was grateful. He was grateful. Ele estava empolgado. He was excited. He was excited. Ele estava empolgado com algo, aí sempre about. He was excited about. Ele estava empolgado com a viagem. He was excited about the trip. He was excited about the trip. Ele estava contente. He was glad. He was glad. Ele estava na cama. He was in bed. He was in bed. Tá vendo? Agora não faria sentido eu traduzir como ele era na cama. Não, ele estava na cama. He was in bed. Quando cheguei, ele estava em casa, né? He was at home. He was at home. Não, ele não estava em casa. He wasn't at home. He wasn't at home. Ele não estava no trabalho. He wasn't at work. He wasn't at work. He wasn't at work. Ele não estava no trabalho de manhã, por exemplo. He wasn't at work in the morning. He wasn't at work in the morning. He wasn't at work in the morning. Ele não estava com seu filho. He wasn't with your son. Ele não estava com sua filha. He wasn't with your daughter. Ele não estava com meu filho. He wasn't with my son. Ele não estava com minha filha. He wasn't with my daughter. Um exemplo, sua filha não estava com a minha filha. Your daughter wasn't with my daughter. Seu filho não estava com minha filha. Your son wasn't with my daughter. Ok? Exemplos. A que horas sua tia estava acordada? At what time was your aunt? Ou então was your, tá? Prepare-se para ouvir isso. Was your. At what time was your aunt woken up? At what time was your aunt woken up? Quando ela estava em casa? When was she at home? When was she at home? Por que ela estava cansada? Why was she tired? Why was she tired? Onde ela estava? Where was she? Where was she? Com quem ela estava? Who was she with? Who was she with? Sua tia estava exausta? Was your aunt exhausted? Was your aunt exhausted? Ou was your aunt exhausted? Was your aunt exhausted? Em quais lugares sua tia estava? What places was your aunt? What places was your aunt? Pause aí e fale na sua velocidade, para automatizar o seu cérebro aí a receber o inglês falado de fato. Ela estava acordada às 5 da manhã. She was woken up at 5 a.m. She was woken up at 5 a.m. Minha tia estava em casa de manhã. My aunt was at home in the morning. My aunt was at home in the morning. Porque ela estava no trabalho. Because she was at work. Because she was at work. Porque ela estava na padaria. Because she was at the bakery. Because she was at the bakery. Ela estava em casa. She was at home. She was at home. Ela estava no shopping. She was at the mall. She was at the mall. A minha tia estava com seu filho. My aunt was with your son. My aunt was with your son. Ela estava muito exausta. She was very exhausted. She was very exhausted. Ela estava só no trabalho. She was only at work. She was only at work. Ela não estava acordada às 5 da manhã. She wasn't woken up at 5 a.m. She wasn't woken up at 5 a.m. A minha tia não estava em casa de manhã. My aunt wasn't at home in the morning. My aunt wasn't at home in the morning. Wasn't at home. My aunt wasn't at home in the morning. Porque ela não estava no trabalho. Because, ou cause, né, como você aprendeu, cause she wasn't at work. Cause she wasn't at work. Porque ela não estava... Por que não? Sorry. Ela não estava em casa. She wasn't at home. She wasn't at home. She wasn't at home. Minha tia não estava com seu filho. My aunt wasn't with your son. My aunt wasn't with your son. Ela não estava muito exausta. She wasn't very exhausted. She wasn't very exhausted. Ela não estava só no trabalho. She wasn't only at work. She wasn't only at work. Anotações. Was faz pergunta no passado apenas para he, she e o it. Para coisas e animais e para coisas e animais, tá? Tem verbos que colocamos o ed, ele se torna adjetivo, tá? Tem verbos, né? Pode ignorar isso aqui, tá? Fica estranho, tem que, né? Tem verbos, há verbos que se colocarmos o ed, ele se torna adjetivo. Um deles, vamos ver. Tire é cansar, por exemplo. Você coloca o D, fica cansado, tired. Tired é um deles, tá? O verbo cansar, tire. Você acrescenta o ed, ele virou um tired. Tá? Cansado, tired. Annoy, né? Um exemplo lá, né? Annoy, irritar, irritado. Annoyed, ele estava irritado, né? Ela estava irritada. She was annoyed. He was annoyed. E assim vai. Connecting words. Tirando isso, fora isso, apart from that. Apart from that. De repentemente, all of sudden. All of sudden. E assim por diante, and so on. And so on. Nesse caso, in this case. In this case. Quando era criança, as a child. As a child. Question words. De quem? Whose? Whose? Filho de quem? Whose son? Trabalho de quem? Whose job? Casa de quem? Whose house? Ok? E assim vai. Quantos anos? How old? How old? Quem mais? Who else? Who else? Quem mais estava cansado? Who else was tired? Ok? Crie esses exemplos, ok? Make up your examples. That was the class of today. Thank you for attending. Bye bye. See ya in the next class.